Audio Jungle.
Welcome back to Issues That Matter on Civic Gossip TV. Today we are talking about education, and I have a crack panel to help me take care of this. Let me quickly go to Chief Sir Omorantas. You are the isee-cvic one of Ndoki in River State. You are also the Ochendo one of Nike in Enugu. That's correct. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
In today's labor market, students always find themselves stuck due to bad academic choices. Choices they made either to study this course or that course, and they have found themselves stuck. In what way do you think you tackle this?
Thank you so very much. We are now talking about the education. When I was growing up, my father and my mother, we are 7 in the house, 6 boys and 1 woman. From the first to the one that's coming for me, they all went to college, they all went to school. So why not me? So because of that, before I came to this country, I was going to school in Enugu State, about 2 years college. I went to college in SS County College.
Okay.
That was 1990.
That's an SS County.
Yes, SS County College, yes. That was 1999. I have a 2-year college there. So from there, I have my BSc in broadcasting. That's where I finished. So because of that, for the choice of courses, most people get stuck from, what am I going to do when I go to college? Okay? When you want to do some things like this, you have to start from the beginning. Like in my house now, I have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. Even my youngest child, 6 years old, already know what he's going to study when he go to college. What I do, I bring them all. I said, what are you going to study? What do you want to do when you grow up? They all already know what they're going to do when they grow up. So it is just family planning. Dysfunctional family and organized or dysfunctional families.
Yeah.
So if you are not organized or your family is not organized, maybe you might not even have a chance to tell your kids to go to school. But if you are organized, you have to tell your children, listen, I know how I did before I become who I am. So if you guys want to be like your father or your mother, I think you have to study. So now
you use yourself as a motivating factor for your kids.
That is correct. So what I do, after asking them what are they going to do, they tell me my first daughter is going to be a doctor, the other one still saying is going to be a doctor, the other one is going to be a lawyer, the one's going to be a computer engineer, So because of that, if the choice you're going to make, starting from the beginning, starting from the parents, starting from the family, if you make sure that your child want to go to school, you teach your child exactly what you want the child to be.
You heard what Chief Omorantas said. Did you get that kind of push growing up?
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to say that at 6, I decided I wanted to be a doctor. At 8, I said I was going to be a nurse. At 12, probably I said I was going to be a teacher. And then when I got into high school and realized that science was difficult, I made up my mind I was going to the to be at this time because you're not seeing the true world yet.
I actually wanted to be a lawyer myself, but along the line, I found out that I was more inclined in creative activities. So I digress, and I'm happy with the line that I chose. But at 6, my parents did ask me that question, to your point.
Yes.
So it's not sacrosanct, but I know that parents want to encourage their kids by raising that issue with them.
Yes, parents ask. Exactly the way he said it, and I quote, "My last child knows what he's going to be already." Now, I'd rather say, my last child thinks he knows what he's going to be already.
Okay.
Because now probably says he wants to be an engineer, and he gets into the field. Oh, I don't want to do it anymore. It's really hard. Yeah? Because me, I'll be very sincere. The main reason I didn't become a doctor or a nurse was because I couldn't deal with the sciences. That was my reason. But then about parents pushing. My mom is a teacher. She's been a teacher for 22 years now. My dad values education even way more than my mother. So, like I said, in my house, it wasn't an option. My father chose everybody's course in my house. We didn't have the choice.
Let's go to Dr. R then. What do you have to say to this?
Interesting enough, this is the area I did my dissertation. I will break down the topic with regards to preparation to college in 3 stages. First stage will be the disposition stage, which starts at the 7th grade to the 9th grade. Here, parents begin to encourage their children towards their choice of college, not necessarily telling them what to do in college or what not to do in college, but you have to see to their studying environment to make sure that they develop that good habit towards studying to become what they want to be. Also, before I go to the main factors, the next stage will be the search stage, from the disposition stage to the search stage. And this starts from the 10th to the 11th grade, where students begin to think about, okay, I want to go to Yale, I want to go to Princeton, I want to go to, of course, Rutgers, which is my alma mater. You don't really get in there unless you get what it takes. And one of those things will be your academic performance in high school. You begin to let these kids know that your GPA counts a lot, your SAT scores counts a lot, and as you motivate them towards this direction, they begin to build that path towards making a better choice, not only a choice of going to college, a choice of going to one of the best amongst the best in schools. The last but not the least among the stages, which is really the most challenging, becomes the search stage, when these kids begin to navigate among schools where they want to go in terms of what they want to study, and the parents also coming in here to take them on college visits, where they also learn about the college, what they do, and if what they do is in their area. So all these tends to minimize the confusion people face in making college choice. By making these early arrangements for your children, you not only enhance their ability to succeed, you also give them the opportunity to choose the right course. I heard my colleagues here touching various areas that will really contribute immensely for these children to succeed. And this I look at as the factors in making decision to go to college. Amongst those things that will help you make a better decision will be your socioeconomic status, whereby
That is very important.
your parents are well-to-do. Imagine where you go to college where you have, not to really discriminate against color this time, but you go to a college where you have a white kid that comes from a wealthy family, and you come from a family that is struggling, that will barely even buy your textbooks. This will definitely affect your ability to compete with that child from a rich background, which is the socioeconomic background. The other area we will look at family factor or relationship. If you have a younger brother that looks up to you and you have those positive takes that makes the best in college, that child or your sibling will tend to follow your footsteps. So you'll be blessed that you have a senior brother that is in year, he's making all these nice grades, and as he studies, you watch him. Okay, and as you watch him, it also motivates you to be like him. That's the factor also. The other factor that would impact on you too will be the kind of friends you keep. If you keep the good friends, tendency is that you'll be like those your good friends who are smart in college. You'll do what they do, but if you have the friends that spend their time, while away their time, most of the time you will also be losing out. And the other factor, because I don't want to really dominate the discussion, the other important factor that we will have to look at is the distance of the school you want to attend from your home. And when I mean your home means where your parents live. Some people do not want their kids to go to a very far distance to go to college, and some prefer that they go far away to begin to learn more about being independent. So the distance and the nearness of the college will be another factor to be looked into amongst many other factors that we need to discuss. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are still on your favorite program, Issues That Matter, and today we are talking about education, still coming to you from Civic Gossip TV. We'll take another short break, and when we come back, we will bring in someone who is vested and vast in the traditions of Africa, and let's hear his opinion on formal education and informal, and then we see the perspective from which it comes. Thank you. Welcome back to Issues That Matter, and we are still on Civic Gossip TV. Joining the panel now are a traditionalist, an engineer by trade, a vice president of Odimma Anedo Social Club, and might I add that he is also the Songito of the Kegais Club. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome engineer Victor Ibeka. That's a tongue-twisting title for me. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Today we are talking about education. We know education can be formal and or informal, but we want to seek your perspective on the traditional aspect of it and how it's affected. So I'll say to you, our language is becoming a thing of relic. What do you think we need to do with our kids who have gone outside Nigeria? How do we need to get them back to speaking our language?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I want to thank Civic Gossip TV for this platform. Tradition, when it comes to education, is one thing you will never overlook. But as an Igbo man, our tradition and our language shows who we are. Then, if you are here as a parent and you have your children or anywhere in the diaspora, I think that education has to start from home. You need to start teaching them that your language, is it Igbo language, Yoruba language, Hausa language, whatever it is, teach your children that language, they will never depart from it. that gives them an identity all over the world. When they are growing up, anywhere they are going, that language goes with them. When they dress up, you know that this child is from so and so country or so and so native land, as the case may be. Jewish people are doing it perfectly in this country. The Spanish people are doing it perfectly in this country. So why not us, the Nigerians? Here we are discussing about education in a diaspora community of which we belong. And most Nigerians here, have kids here. All they care about is to teach their children American English. They don't care about teaching their children the Igbo language. The Yoruba people are giving to them. You go to churches, you see little Yoruba kids, they will be telling you how to car wrong. But for the Igbo people, the Igbo nation, they see their language as something that is not worthy for their children, to carry along with them in the outside world. They feel like they become inferior when they speak the language. I wasn't born in Nigeria, but I speak my language very well, fluently. My father taught me that. My mother taught me that. And with that, I know a lot about my culture. A lot of the Igbo folks here in America, even the grown-ups, don't even know how many the Igbo calendar. All they know is Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you ask them now, what is our phone? They don't know. But this is bad.
Let me interrupt you there. You have mentioned that parents, especially the Igbos, is it an Igbo thing or a Nigerian thing or an African thing not to encourage their kids to speak their native language?
I must be honest to you, it's an Igbo thing.
Okay, if you say it's an Igbo thing, at whose doorstep do you put the blame?
The parents. I put the blame to the parents because after the Igbos, lost the war, even they said the Biafran war was no victor, no vanquish. We know the Igbos lost that war. So I think they have some kind of inferiority complex about the Igbo nation, that when you show yourself as an Igbo man, it's assumed that you're an inferior person. So I wanted to change that mentality. I was in a foreign land, born in a foreign land. I speak my language. Everybody respects me. I'm an engineer in New York, working as a biomedical engineer. Sometimes Fridays I dress like this to work. Everybody want to take pictures of me, and they're happy. I'm going by the through the subway. Everybody's looking like, who is this prince? And they're taking pictures with of me, and that gives me a wonderful momentum,
yeah.
And I feel so good about myself. I don't need to say, or I don't need to hide and start speaking phonetics or whatever. Where you gotta go, whatever. No, you should be yourself. The Spanish people have come to, rather they don't come to realize that they've been doing it, and it's working for them.
I concur with you on that. In every Spanish home, Spanish is their first language.
Yes.
No matter how hard the government is trying, they speak Spanish at home, and as little as 5 years old, you see him or her speaking fluent Spanish.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. So what stops us?
In your opinion, how can we change this?
Well, it's very simple. Now, coming here to this country, as a young adult, I happen to be here and I got married here. I have two beautiful daughters, Ebelechukwu Ibeka and Uguchi and Ibeka. Ebelechukwu is just 2 years and a few months. Now, if you tell Ebelechukwu, she will run and get water for you. Ebelechukwu wetam remote, she will go there and get it for you. I made this happen. Right now, she's watching all those TV programs, Baby Finger, Where Are You, and all those things. You parents, you know what I'm talking about here in America. But how would she ever know that she is a native of Ugbo? She can only know that from me. So I blame the parents. If the parents cannot inculcate that cultural heritage to their children, they will never get it. They will get lost. And believe you me, where we are is very, very big, and the space is so large that kids can easily just get lost and you will never see them again. So it's very important for the parents of the Igbo community, the African community, the Nigerian community to take the bull by the horn. Start teaching these kids the language. Teach them your culture. They will never depart from it. That is education. It starts from home.
Thank you, sir.
It can never be better than any other better than that. Right there in your houses, give it to them. They will never depart from it. And guess what? You'll be very proud as a parent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Doctor, you've heard it. How else can we make our children speak our language or be proud of our culture?
Thank you. I agree with you. Culture is very important. There are many aspects of culture. Language is one of them. I think I would rather give credit to the Nigerian community. I think they're doing, at least for the most part, from what I've observed, the dress is very good. We always wear our clothes to go to Nigerian parties. The kids see that. The kids follow suit. The food, we always introduce Nigerian food. That's another aspect. Not everybody is gifted with language. I know if you, at an early age, if you learn, I grew up in Nigeria, but I'm not very fluent with Igbo. I can understand very well, but I'm not very fluent. Another thing I would like to add is that Spanish is very profitable in America. It's very easy. If you have Spanish as a second language, jobs, money matters. Igbo as a second language doesn't add any monetary value. So parents try to focus on what, it's almost a monetized situation now. French is profitable. Spanish is profitable. Igbo is culture. It's great, yes. If your kids can learn the language, you speak it amongst yourself, they watch Nigerian movies, sure. But the main point is take your kids home, let them know where you live, where they're from, let them have a sense of identity. So they can speak the language and add a bonus. That's my opinion.
I want to say something real quick to respond to what Honorable Doctor has said. He said Spanish is profitable. We are not talking about profitability here. You are a medical doctor, and I heard you, throw out your challenges as a black man here in America. Some Caucasians don't want you to attend to them. At this level of your life, you make so much money as a doctor, not as an Igbo man, or not as a Spanish person. Okay? So when we're talking about our culture, it's something that we derive pride in. You were born in Nigeria, probably maybe Lagos, that's why the Igbo is not fluent. I wasn't born in Nigeria. I wasn't born in Lagos. I was born somewhere that everybody speaks something else. But I speak Igbo fluently. This is as a result of my parents' hard work to make sure I get that cultural heritage. And as we speak today, we're in America, we still went to school in America, and we're all professionals. I still make my money. I don't need to speak Spanish to make my money. Where I work, we have Spanish people. For them to have a fluent conversation here in America, you have to speak English. So my brother, I will a little bit disagree with you. That's the essence of this panel. We have to make it lively. Okay, so I want to encourage you to learn the Igbo language. You're an Igbo man. It's very important. Make sure you do that. Let that be your assignment. And when you have children, make sure they speak the language. That's who they are.